Hey, everybody. Welcome to our weekly show. We call it Three Broke Guys Handicapping, where we review one of the top racing cars from around the United States. We will select a four-race sequence from that track and attempt to come to a consensus on a pick four ticket. Thank you for joining us. Week number 33 of the racing season, and it's got to be one of our favorite stops. It's Del Mar Racetrack in Solano Beach, California. It's Pacific Classic Day. The pick four starts in race 8. It ends in race 11. There's two stakes in the pick four on Saturday. And my name is Rich Sharp, and each week I'll be joined by my friends and racing analysts. Folks, our first handicapper, he might be 3,000 miles away from his home in Staten Island, New York, but Ray Tirado, in reality, he's less than 90 days away from the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar Racetrack. And Ray's Little Pony, World Approval, won a Grade 1 stakes at the Spa last week. So, Ray, I know that put a smile on your face. And actually, just so everybody knows what I was talking about, here it is. So how you doing this week?
Very good, very good. I'm very happy. We made some money last week on the side. So, yep, 90 days. I'm very excited to be there. Yep, there it is. World approval.
There you go. There is Ray's Little Pony. His name is World Approval. And, yeah, if you were
Hey,
smart enough and
wonderful.
maybe
Start, Dave.
put it 5-1 as well. All righty. So stop that, bring it down, and come on back here for a second. Our West Coast handicapper, and you know what, folks? The weather has been just a little bit mild this week in Temecula, California, but Joe English, you have been hot, giving the last lucky few who watch our podcast 4 $20 winners in the last 2 weeks. And if you don't regularly watch this show, I'll remind you, we only play 4 races per week. So, Joe, if racing was baseball, you'd be slugging 1,000, my friend.
Yeah, unfortunately, it shows you how good handicapping doesn't always lead to the window, because we've had all those winners and, well, have really nothing to show for it other than a little pat on the back that I can give myself. So thank you very much.
It's a brutal game.
It's not easy.
Okay. All right. Last week was Arlington Park, and that was for the Arlington Million. As you can tell, we did not hit our pick four. That drops us to 0 for 13, and I do believe that may have been the most painful loss so far in the second half of the year, surpassing the week before at Monmouth Park. Time for a brief weather update from Del Mar, California. The forecast for Saturday calls for, well, there's some clouds in the morning. That'll give way to mainly sunny skies in the afternoon. The high is 72. Winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. And note this, there is a 10% chance of rain. A total of 11 races, 3 stakes on tap for Saturday. For today, we are focused on the pick four, beginning in race number 8 and concluding in race number 11. Gentlemen, the gates are locked and loaded, the outriders are clear, and the starter is ready to pop the gate. It's pick four post time.
Let's go.
Let it ride.
Race number 8. Approximate post time is 5. Guaranteed, I believe is it guaranteed at $300,000?
I believe TVG guarantees the $300,000, but forget it. It's usually around 900,000 or so on every weekend.
All right, it's going 1.25 miles on the main track. It is the TVG Pacific Classic Stakes. It's a Grade 1. The purse, $1 million for 3-year-olds and upward. Win and you are in. The winner of the TVG Pacific Classic will punch his return trip ticket to the Breeders' Cup Classic right here at Del Mar. 8 starters and your even money morning line favorite. While he's in post number 8, it's Arrogate, trained by Bob Baffert and ridden by Mike Smith. It was first run in 1991. It is considered one of the premier racing events and has drawn some of the most prestigious horses on the West Coast to the winner's circle. The last 4 Pacific Coast Classic champions were in order: Game On Dude, Shared Belief, Beholder, and California Chrome. All right, Joe, I got to add that we saw 2 of those races, and I've got the photos to prove it. So have we got another superstar in this year's Pacific Classic?
Well, I'm sure you'll have more video tomorrow since Rich and I are planning to attend. Well, yeah, I think Arrogate's last race has to be addressed at least. As far as I just think it was a toss. I think it's one of those one-off races. Just about every horse has them. Zenyatta might be the lone exception to that rule. But I mean, he just got beat so soundly. It wasn't like he got beat by a length or even 2. I mean, to be up the track that far was pretty amazing. And unfortunately, as we were talking before the show, some people who bet to get that 5% lost a lot of money that day. Anyway, he's the best horse in the race. At least he's done the most on the track. He's won 3 grade ones. He's won 3 grade ones at a mile and a quarter. So you can't really, you have to use him on every level because he's probably the best in the race. Unfortunately, I can't see clear to single him, given that, I mean, I don't know if it was maybe it's the surface that he doesn't like. Again, maybe it was just a one-off day, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and I have to use him. But the horse that beat him, to me, has to be used to accelerate. Victor Espinoza got on last time. Tyler Bays had been riding this horse. Not only did Victor get on last time, they also added blinkers last time in the San Diego, and he freaked out. I mean, and when I say freaked out, I mean he ran freaky good. And maybe, just maybe, the blinkers and the combination of Victor kind of knows a little bit about winning this race, having ridden California Chrome to beat Beholder and Dortmund last year. So maybe that was what turned it around. Maybe it was just the combination. He was on the lead. The pace wasn't necessarily all that fast. The only thing about him is, and with Collected, it's the same thing. Neither one has won a grade 1. Neither one has won at a mile and a quarter. Accelerate, however, is 3 for 3 over this track, and that has to be accounted for. He's been in the money 11 out of 12 starts. John Sadler, maybe John Sadler, he did it with Stellar Wind against Vale Dory. He's gotten the better of Baffert in that matchup a couple of times, and maybe with the blinkers and Victor, he's found the key with Accelerate. So I have to use both. Arrogate would be my top choice, but I'm going to use Accelerate as an A pick also in the Pacific Classic. It's to me, I don't think it's much more than a 3-horse race, but the top 2 for me are Arrogate and Accelerate. So I'm going either Alcoholics Anonymous or Arrogate and Accelerate. AA for me, 8 over 3 as far as order of preference. But if either one of them wins, it won't surprise me. So 8-3 for me, right?
You know what amazes me is that how basically 4 weeks can turn a horse from 1 to 5 to even money. You know, you're right. I mean, Alligator is the best horse in the race. I mean, the only thing I can see what happened possibly last time, and I don't know. I mean, Bob Baffert, they did interview him after the race, and he was, trying to say some stuff, and you know, I mean, he didn't work him over the track, and he just came straight from Santa Anita and right to Del Mar. I mean, of course, you gallop, but it's a track. I guess it's just tricky for Alligator Stride, and as you can see, even in the optional claiming race, he ran a low figure. He did win last year, but he had trouble with the surface. So maybe, but what I can see now is that he put some really powerful workouts in him, and and of course, like you say, the mile and a quarter could be also a big factor too. He's 3 for 3 over that, so it's his race to lose. I mean, you know. My pick 4, I'm singling him because the cash flow. But if I find some cash during the day, I can always throw in um, Accelerate, which I would like to do as my second choice. So that's something I'll be looking to do, because that would of course double my ticket, and but definitely it would be a worth investment also to do that. So, but for me, I'll get he's tremendous in his last 5 or 6 races, and it happens. The last time he did, I mean, he did make a move. Around the fall term, he just and after that they want to change leads, and he packed it in. So Mike Smith just called it a day. So it happens. I've seen it before. Everybody's seen it before. So it's another day, and we go on. Rich, Pacific Classic. There you go. Guess who's watching?
How long have we been doing this show, you guys? Yeah, he was going to ask me this one. So, I did go. I had to go Baffert in this race. I'm going to shake things up here a little bit though. Let me see if I can bring it. I'll bring it back up because I wasn't really paying attention. I was showing you guys a picture of me and Joe from last year at the Pacific Classic. We were watching California Chrome. The picture that I showed while Joe was initially talking probably
Oh, yeah.
came about 30 seconds before the start of the Pacific Classic. They were actually loading the gate at that moment in time as we were, as you can see, screaming in that picture. So here we go. Let me bring up the racing form one more time. So Arrogant, that that absolutely was a clunker. I don't even think the doll could explain that one as to what happened that day. I thought I would try and take a tack to being contrarian. I have liked Collected all year. If not for Arrogant, I thought that Collected was really going to be the star of Bob Baffert's barn. He's won 3 races in a row. I realized one of those was the Santana Mile, which is just a graded stakes. And again, if you look at the talent or the horses that he's been beating up on so far, they're you see there's not a whole lot of red type or red circles on that one other than Accelerate. Follow Me Krev finishes second to everybody. Prospect Park is not at this level, and neither are Avante Bello, Clever Royal, or anybody in that race. Last time he saw anybody of this late league was in the Preakness last year, and you see that he actually didn't have bet him in a couple of those races where he was short, not to win, but in our pick 4 tickets. And I thought he deserved an opportunity to possibly knock it off. Obviously, if Baffert's got him in the race, he must think there's an opportunity for a Collector to pull off a shocker. And he's going to back up his opportunities in the Pacific Classic just in case, as Joe and Ray have already told you, maybe it is that Arrogate doesn't really love that track. So I've actually got the 2 as my top pick in this race, and I backed it up with the 8 because, well, it's Baffert, and I'm not going to split my Bafferts here. I believe Ray and Joe both have or actually, Ray is singling here. Ray's got the 8 alone. Mark down this show. And Joe went with the 8 on top, and he's got the 3 as his backup.
Rich, just so that you know, the PPs are.
Yeah, I can see that now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you were aware of it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let me see if I can get that cleaned up. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's my computer having trouble. I've actually had a few little blankouts with the volume as well. But I'm back. So let's move along. And we're going to move along to race number 9. This is going 6 furlongs on the main track. It's an optional claiming race for non-winners of 1. The purse is $62,000 plus $18,600 from the Cowbred Owners Fund because, as everybody's heard here, it pays to be a Cowbred. For 3-year-olds and upward which have never won $10,000 once, other than maiden, claiming, or starter, or which have never won 2 races, or claiming price of $40,000. 11 starters, and your morning line favorite starts from post number 10. Edwards Going Left, trained by John Sadler and ridden by Tyler Bays, is the 5-2 favorite on the Del Mar morning line. Edwards Going Left, but what I want to know is where is Mr. Torado going in race number 9?
Well, I'm spreading a little bit here. I got 4 horses here. It's a contentious race. I mean, a lot of horses here coming back a distance. The class dropping up in class, and so you really have to, see what the trainers are doing here as far as angles. I went with the number 9, Rockin' Rudy, my top choice. This horse, actually, we saw him in the Arkansas Derby, running up the track, but he broke his maiden a good 11 lengths on this track last year. So returning back to they went down trying to go dirt, turf to dirt. Did have the lead top of stretch in the last race of the mile on the Oceanside, which was the opening day stake race. So they're trying to go back to the dirt where he was successful last year and drop it down to optional claiming race, not one of 1. So none of these horses have won 2 races. And you take a shot here. Doug O'Neill, Redham Stable. They like the big days. So I go number 9, Rocket Rudy. My second choice would be number 8, Americanized. Simon Callan, Flavin Pratt. They do well together. As you can see, 55% the last 11 races. So they're pretty hot. This horse has some good figures last year in his main races. Running 90s was nuts, and had a little trouble. Actually, lost the jockey one race, but he came back for a nice race at Del Mar on the 23rd of July. Nice second in the same condition. So they came back a half furlong. This horse might run well. He's been a money burner, favored 4 times in a row, and you had won once. So he's 4 out of 5 of the money in a place or position in these actors. So he should be there. Um, he has some speed. He can also close, so he's probably kind of versatile. I do like number 10, Edwards Don't Go on Left, the favorite you guys mentioned. He did win a couple races, Santa Anita. He's a state bred, so he's actually going back to open company now. But he should be competitive here. He ran in a little stake race in July 28th, finished third, good third on the track, so he should be formidable here. He's 3 out of 5. He likes to win. He's 5-2. And I also like Street Vision, number 3, Arroyo Montglat. He had a big blowout race last time in Del Mar. Um, allowance race, a condition race. He was 2-1, so he had a nice workout after that. So he might be running to form on the track. So I'll take a chance with him. Tree Vision. So for the show, those would be my horses: the 9, 8, 10, and 3. Joe, what do you think about this sprint? Option claimers, 9 wins of 1. Looking for that second.
I like the favorite, unfortunately, or fortunately. We saw Rich and I were at the track that Friday when we saw the race won by Mr. Hinks. Edwards going left was blocked basically the entire length of the stretch, and I mean, we don't know if he could have beaten Mr. Hinks that day. Obviously, we'll never know. Again, it was he could have he would he would have run much better than finishing third by 2 lengths. He had nowhere to go, and he was closing ground. Unfortunately, that's just racing luck. Obviously, he proved that he can run over this surface. He has the race over the surface. And again, like you were saying, Ray, I mean, there are a lot of horses in here who have not cleared the non-winners of once condition. This guy's running. He ran in a third in a reasonable stakes, and Mr. Hinks and Ann Arboretti are pretty good horses. So I have to go with the favorite. Edwards going left, and I think John Sadler could actually have a pretty big day. And the other thing I wanted to mention, and I kind of like Rockin' Rudy myself. I think he's a one-turn horse. I don't think he's cut out for 2 turns. The fact that he was in front in the Oceanside, turning for home, and he actually didn't. If you looked at the race, he got beat for third by about a length. So even though he was 6th by 4 lengths, he really wasn't that far from being in the money that day. And the one thing about Rich will pull up, if Rich could pull up the track bias stats page, 75% of these races at the meet so far of the 20, so 15 of the 20 have been won by E and P types. So unless Americanized rediscovers the speed that he had for Doug O'Neill and for Bob Baffert, if he's going to be that far back, I'm not sure that the track's not playing against him. I would assume he's going to be they're going to try and put this horse in the race a little bit earlier. Because if not, if he's 7th, 3 or 4 lengths back, he's playing against the way the track's been playing, at least so far this meet. So for me, it's 10 and 9 on top in that order. Like I said, I like the favorite, and I think Rockin' Rudy, like Ray was saying, I think he's a one-turn horse, and I think he liked the Del Mar Dirt in his one start, winning his maiden by 11 lengths, running a pretty lofty figure. Back then. So 10-9 for me in the 9th and in the sprint, the non-winners and 1 allowance sprint between the 2 stakes races in this pick 4. Rich?
Yeah, I thought pretty much the same thing, Joe. It's probably going to go to an E-type in this race, but the caveat being, one has got to figure out which one it's going to be. I went pretty deep in this race. I did like the favorite, so I didn't toss the favorite of these. That was going left. I decided, despite having burned quite a bit of money this summer on him, I'm going to go one more time to my San Luis Ray connection here. And I'm going to give Pete one more shot. I know he's having a rough meet. I know he's actually even talking about possibly reducing the number of horses that he's going to be running here. But this horse, Big League, ran one of those too good to lose races the last time, actually, with Paco Lopez, the visiting jockey from the East Coast aboard last time. And, now he's really just going down in class off of having Paco Lopez. He's picked up some guy named Kent DeSormo to ride for him here today. So I'm going to give, Kent and Pete one more shot. It's not like they're a magic combination, but I am looking for an E-type, a pure E-type here. I was looking for what could be the fastest horse in the race, somebody who's going to have a look from the outside. I liked Rockin' Rudy a lot, so I think I've got almost the entire outside cast here of, I think I had the 8 American Eyes. I thought deserved a shot. Rockin' Rudy has enough speed to get there. The favorite and the 11, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a peek. And you know what? And I believe I actually even have the 5 on here. I really blew up. I believe the 5 is on my line. But I have the 8, 9, 10, 11 with 5 underneath.
Very good. I got 3 more, so talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I hate, and I hate to go that way because anytime it seems like we all go that deep.
The chalk
especially
wins.
the chalk wins, and anytime that we all have a long shot, which is Rockin' Rudy, I believe, is 12-1 on the morning line. That's usually an indication he's going to go off at about 7-2.
I probably wouldn't touch him at 7-2, to be honest with you.
12-1 is good.
I wouldn't touch. Yeah, I don't know that I'd touch him at 7-2. 12-1 for sure. 7-2.
Yeah.
Of course, it's part of a multi-race sequence
He's
for us.
So you don't know.
We won't get any choice.
If we have to bet the race individually, I wouldn't take Rockin' Rudy at 7-2. Let's make that public right now.
No, yeah.
All right, we are back. We are moving along. Race number 10, and here they're going 1 mile and an eighth on the turf. It's the Del Mar Oaks presented by the Jockey Club. Grade 1, the purse is $300,000 for filly 3-year-olds only. Win and you're in. The winner of the Del Mar Oaks will punch her return ticket to Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup Longines Turf. 14 starters, and your morning line favorite at 7-2 is in post number 5, Conte Partiro, trained by Wesley Ward and ridden by Flavian Pratt. The Del Mar races don't have quite the history of their East Coast counterparts, but they have been running the Del Mar Oaks since 1957. It was run on dirt until 1964, and it became a Grade 1 event in 1994. Joe, be honest, are you looking forward to the 14 classy ladies on the turf or the multitudes of classy ladies circling the track on Saturday? Who do you like in the Oaks?
Is my wife watching?
She never does. I'd be dead man by now if she did.
She doesn't watch. Let me just clarify that there is a field of 13, Rich. The 4 Pistol Pack and Rose actually, I think, entered on Sunday and is a program scratch, the only program scratch in this sequence. So at least right now it's down to field of 13. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Who do I like in the Oaks? This really was a difficult race, and it would be the race that I would go the deepest on my own individual pick 4 ticket. It's a really difficult call, and I went with the 10 as my top pick, Dream Dancing, on Rich's angle, the new face from a different place. She's been running against Grade 3 and Grade 2 company back east. The horses like New Money Honey, who won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly Turf, La Cornell, who's a 2-time graded winner. Actually, she's entered in, I want to say she's entered on I think she might be entered in a stake tomorrow, a turf stake at Saratoga, not the Alabama. New Money Honey is entered in the Alabama tomorrow. And Proctor's Ledge is also entered in that same race as La Cornell. Unfortunately, we'll know that. I think the race is run on. I'm not sure if the race is run tomorrow or not. If it is, we'll know that result before this field goes postward. But the funny part I see is, and I'm not. Maybe I need to look at this a little bit more closely. I don't see Julian Leperoux named on anybody other than Dream Dancing tomorrow on this entire card. So I'm guessing one of two things: either he's really not here, and there's going to be a late jockey change, or he's coming just to ride Dream Dancing. To me, I don't think he would leave Saratoga, leave a whole day of Saratoga to come out and ride Dream Dancing for one race in the Del Mar Oaks. That to me, it just doesn't equate. So obviously, to me, there's a reason he's here. the 3-year-old filly. She's got class. She's been running against the best turf fillies back east. You see Daddy's little darling in her PPs, Dancing Rags, and again, Law Cornell and New Money Honey. So I'm going with one of the new faces. The other horse I like is unfortunately one of the local faces. She drew an outside box and she didn't really fare all that well in the Belmont Oaks, and that's the 12 Beau Recall. Sir Cat Sally is no longer around to kick dirt in her face, or actually in this case it would be turf in her face. So she would be the top local contender in here. Again, she lost to New Money Honey in the Belmont Oaks not that long ago, but she's back in her backyard. Simon Callahan's back. Joe Talamo, who's been on her 1 win and 3 second place finishes, gets back up. Again, she draws an outside box. Like I said, this race is a really difficult race. My top 2 choices are both 6-1. So I went 10-12, given that I wanted to take the new face and I wanted to take the best of the locals. I will talk about 3 other horses when I talk about our own individual pick fours, but 10-12 for me in the Del Mar Oaks, which is really, like I said, the most difficult race in the sequence to handicap and to pick a winner in. So I'll pass off to Ray, and I'll wonder, Ray, are you going Keno in this spot too?
No, that was last race. I'm actually 4 deep here, so it's pretty reasonable for the size of the field.
For you,
4 to 14.
for you, that's pretty reasonable. For anybody else, that's a Keno thing. No, I'm only going 4 deep.
No, you're right.
Only 4.
This is a tough race. You have 14 horses, man.
Well, we'll see.
The start is going to be very wide.
Well, we're at 13, and we'll see if there are any defections tomorrow.
Well, actually, I mean, I like your horse, Joe. The 12, Beau Recall. I have him on top. He's back on the West Coast, so not a decent race in the Belmont Oaks. It's wide, and it's that track at Belmont is kind of tough. It's tight turns there, so if you go wide, it's very hard. It's to get a good trip. So, but he's 6-1. Callahan's got him back here. A couple of good workouts in Dunmore, and looking for the grade 1. So it's Beau Recall, Talamo, good jockey. I do like number 7, Vexitius. This is first time turf. I'm taking a chance here. Been running against some good company, running the Mother Goose and the Kentucky Oaks. Could get the distance here, shouldn't be a problem. Some of these horses haven't gone a mile on it, so that's a question mark for them. But this horse has gone a distance and ran pretty well in the Kentucky Oaks, finished 4th. Not sure if I had her that day, because I had a lot of horses in the Oaks going for the Derby double. So
Probably.
Big surprise there.
I probably had her. Well, 40-1. Well, I don't know. Depends on more in line, but
you know, a lot of horses in a race. Wow, shocking.
Yeah, in the Oaks double, you have to pile up to get to the Derby. So that's a good double. This horse have a little layoff here, so he's back in Del Mar. So got some nice workouts there. Long, 7 furlongs, 6 furlongs. So he's training her to go a distance. So Berano is back, and he's one of the good jockeys out there, one of the best jockeys out there. Especially on the turf too. So which good shot first time turf. I do like number 5, Conte Partido, and this horse ran in England in a good race, a handicap, and one of the thing with this horse is that I like the way that she's losing 9 pounds from England's race, but she never went the distance, and it's a little question mark for me. But I like the workouts, in Keeneland, 5 furlongs, 4 times in a row, so it's, nice slow breezes, and with the dogs up, let me tell you, 101, 102, that's not too bad. So, and a minute and 2 with the dogs up, that's pretty good. So this horse could be running very well. Just a matter of the distance. Can she get a distance? 9 furlongs. Flavor Pratt, I'm definitely going to rate her and come at the end. I do like number 13, Tapped, way on the outside. I mean, how can you forget Mike Smith this day? He's going to be riding all day. Hollendorfer. This horse yeah, had a little sprint prep in the optional claiming race. Came running hard. That was her first time turf, so I guess Hollendorfer figures why not take a chance? I mean, she ran pretty well in the Ashland Grade One horses, so yeah, this race fits her. Um, Another one, she's got a mile and 16, but not a mile and 8. So, but yeah, he feels I guess he should get the distance. So I like the price 13-1. No, I'm sorry, 8-1. So those would be my four horses in the double oaks, the 12, 7, 5, and 13. Rich, do you have any bets to add here?
Ironically enough, I let's see which horse did not get covered there in that mess so far. So my top pick, as you saw there, we can handicap each other pretty well. I mean, Joe nailed it right on the nose. Rich to start it there. The Mark Cassidy, Julian Leparoux, Invader from the East, scary new face from another place. And on the turf, a new face from any other place, really. So, and Leparoux coming into town, an excellent turf rider. So that's where my check mark ended up. And I am out on the 10. I did like the 12, Beau Recall, because Sir Cat Sally is not here. So as far as I was concerned, this was the best female 3-year-old turf horse here in Southern California that was not named Sir Cat Sally, and now Sir Cat Sally, as Joe mentioned, is gone. You can throw a line through that last one. The Bell Oaks, the speed rating at least was a nice rating. So I would use the 10, I would use the 12, and unfortunately I could not toss the favorite as much as I wanted to because these Wesley Ward horses that go overseas to Europe and then come back, these things are absolute monsters. So I've got 5, 10, 12, and believe it or not, I think even on my ticket, I might have thrown in the 11 underneath Pacific Wind. Um, maybe because I got a crush on Brittany Urton, or maybe because I thought if it's got any kind of a speed bias in this track at all on the turf, this is one of the horses that might be closer to the lead and might be able to take advantage of that. And Corey Nakatani is not so bad on the turf. So I think I've got, is it 7, 10, or excuse me, 5, 10, 12, 11, 12.
You got to remember, fellas, in a big field like you were talking, if it stays 13 horses or even if it's 10, there's always the chance as a closer, traffic problems can hamper 1, 2, or maybe half the field. So having some tactical speed doesn't hurt in this case.
Yep, that was exactly what I thought. And also here in Southern California on the turf track like that. More times than not, you have seen a speed horse go right around and take it, and the horse that's got the best speed rating or the one that's maybe quickest to pounce has got the advantage there. So, again, why I thought Pacific Wind merited an opportunity here. Okay, we're going to move along to the finale, and one of those ironies, right, that Joe got 2 stakes races, and Ray got an optional claimer and a maiden race. Ray, I don't do that, okay? It was the track didn't cooperate tonight. 6. This is race number 11. Yeah. It's 6 furlongs on the main track. Maiden special weight. Purse is $60,000. It's for Cowbreds or cow-sired maidens. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. 10 starters, and your Wonderland favorite is in post number 8. Laney, trained by Andy Mathis and ridden by Rafael Bejarano, 3-1 on the Del Mar Morning Line. Joe got the grade 1s, and you got an optional claimer and a maiden race for late bloomers. But Ray, who do?
Well, actually, at this point of the day, either we'll be alive, or the evening. Yeah, it could be pretty late, right?
Late for you.
Either we'll be alive, or you guys you'll be at the beach making sandcastles. But we're gonna be alive, so this race will mean something. I do like number 8, Liney, the favorite. This horse ran. This is Cowbirds, right? So she's back in her again in the state breds, and has some speed and ran pretty well. First race at Del Mar, so Andy Matias, Bejarano, one of the top jockeys there. I think she could probably go all the way here. She broke the post 12 last time, and this is a little more inner post 8, and she dueled, got caught, so I think she's going to have a big race, and hopefully to finish our pick 4. I do like number 1, Meet and Greet, first time starter here, Phil D'Amato. Evan Roman is a very hot apprentice, and we get the weight allowance too, so he's 115. That always helps. And a couple of good workouts, 5 furlongs, Del Mar track. So this horse is ready. My only concern is the rail, because it's always tough to break from the rail. These are young horses, first time out. So, but we'll see. So you get a good trip. I do like a little long shot here. Number 4, Jabber now, 8-1. Nakatani, looking to have a big day. This horse adding blinkers, turf to dirt, a lot's going on here. She's 0 for 6, so the trainer's mixing up here. First time dirt, been working out on the dirt, so I guess the turf ain't working out too well. I mean, she did show speed, a couple races down the hill, Santa Anita. So that's a good sign that I see. So she should be able to show some little bit of speed on the dirt. Her workouts, I mean, 48-1 is not too bad, and a minute flat, and 48-2. So those are good workouts and competitive against a lot of 80 runners and in that morning. So I think this horse can show a little speed here and be in contention with especially with the blinkers on. So I'll take 8-1. So those are my 3 horses, and I got another one to talk about later on. So I'll go 8-1-4, 8-14. It's a nice bowling series. But 8-1-4 for me. Joe, what do you think about this race here?
Yeah, I shot. Yeah, my 800 was actually 812. To be honest with you.
8-12.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's funny is Ray, as much as often as we agree, this is one race in which Ray and we could not disagree more. Yeah, I know, exactly. That means a lot. I know.
That means better.
Well, let's put it this way. I this week I decided, since I knew we were doing this race, I was like, okay, Wednesday night when I came home, I was like, I'm going to do some video, especially. And what really perplexed me was why they didn't put the Del Mar handicap in this pick 4. Really, I mean, they ended up with a field, I think, of 11, and they decided to put. I don't mind the maiden race at the end or the optional claimer, but why have both of them in there? Why not the Del Mar handicap in the middle between the two ones? Either that or put the Del Mar handicap on turf as the first leg of the sequence, then the Pacific Classic on dirt, then the Del Mar Oaks back on turf. I mean, to me, that makes much more sense. But then again, I'm not one of the gnomes at Del Mar. But again, so now back to this race. This race, to me, actually, let me digress and go back to my story. I decided to watch some video, and I watched the race that Laney came out of, because there were Haley Rochelle, who finished 3rd in that race, and Bella Sierra, who finished 4th in that race, were in the race. So I decided, let me go back and take a look and watch the race. And to me, Laney ran too good to lose, and she did anyway. That race was at 5.5 furlongs, and now you're expecting her to carry her speed 6 furlongs. She's got speed, as you can see. Haley Rochelle has speed. The 5 Warm It Up came out of a pretty quick early race at Los Alamitos. The 6 Powder showed speed in her race. Her not return, in the race prior to the layoff. The open maiden 30 at Santa Anita. The 7 Unusually Stylish showed speed in that same race that was I was just talking about with Laney and Haley Rochelle and Bella Sierra. So to me, this race is loaded with speed, and you're asking these horses who've never gone 5.5 furlongs to go 6. So basically, I went with the 1, and I know it's against the track bias. I get it. But I'm going with the 1 closer in the field, and that's the 3 Hope She Will. Yes, they came home pretty slowly in that last race that she ran. But considering how much speed is in this spot, there's no guarantee that they're not going to come home this slowly again. Bruce Headley can train a horse still. He doesn't, obviously, he's only sent out 20 horses all year, but 25% is still a pretty darn good percentage. This horse came out of a race that we actually handicapped. Princess Dorian won. I can't remember who. Haley Rochelle was in that race as well. Yeah. And Hope She Will came and picked up the pieces. But like I said, now the fact that she's getting to stretch out a little bit further, she draws decently, but I don't think the draw really is going to hurt her, because she's probably going to be last or next to last, or maybe behind a couple, maybe ahead of a couple of the stragglers at the end. But it looks like a lot of these other horses show a lot of speed. So I think she's going to have plenty of targets to run down. I just hope she can get there. If the race was 6.5 furlongs, I'd be a lot more confident. And Pereira's I've been aboard her before. So I'm going against the bias. I'm going to try to be the 25% that win that are not EMP types. And I hope she will to win the finale. And the other horse I like better, like I said, I watched that Laney race and I was not impressed. I went, if I had to take a speed horse, I would take the 6 Powder. Yes, it was an open maiden 30. I'm not sure how open maiden 30s equate to state bred maiden specials. I don't know that there's that much of a difference. She got clear, but at least she lost at 6 furlongs, and she's had some time off. Cruel Jack brings her back, and like I said, the race I think was a lot better. It's better by 10 points on the buyer speed figure scale. 10 points at 6 furlongs is about 4 lengths or so. So if that's the case, like I said, I think Powder's got a better chance of being in front of this field as they turn for home, and Hope She Will may have to run her down. So I would go with 6-3 and 3-6, and my exact is like I said, I'm kind of hopeful that the extra half a furlong will help get Hope She Will to the winner's circle. But it wouldn't surprise me if the 6 were to get the job done based on the fact that she looks a little bit faster early. And like I said, I just wasn't impressed with the race that Laney ran second in. A race that she had every right to win, yet still got tagged anyway. So 3-6, Hope She Will over Powder for me in the finale at Del Mar on Pacific Classic Day. So we've got at least 5 horses that we've mentioned. Rich, I'm going to assume you have something to add. Do you? Hello?
I do not. Thank God, and I'll knock on wood for that one. I'm sorry. I was playing with my mute button and it came back on. But my check mark in this race is on meet and greet. So this is I've heard all the logic and everything else, and there was one in here that you guys didn't bring up during both of your reviews there and like that, and that was the fact that I didn't really care for any of the horses so far that have run a race, and I was looking for that scary new face angle. This would be Phil D'Amato. He hits 15% with his first-time starters, and this one's out of a tribal rule, and that's 14%. So you've got a nice connection there. Ray brought this up. Evan Roman, one of the biggest jokes in America right now is that they're giving this young man 5 pounds. So we should be jumping on it every single time. And the works are good. So the horse is solid, even though he's down in the 1 hole. I did end up with my check mark there. I backed it up with the favorite. Although, after hearing Joe's analysis about the race itself, I'm pretty sure I can be talked off of that. But I've just got 1-8 here in this race. I'm going to go ahead and come on back.
Yeah, not the most thrilling finale we've ever done.
No, this race this one's got me concerned. As far as our pick 4 tickets, so I'll be interested to see how we work this one out. And let me see if I can get this up, because we've got a new spin on our group pick 4 ticket this week, and you guys can actually watch us as we deliberate and figure out how we're going to go ahead and put this one together. And I'm hoping the screen sharing is working this time. So,
cool.
Here we go, and I'll present this one to everyone.
And it doesn't look like a test pattern.
All right, cool. That's not a test pattern. I'm sorry about that. I have a feeling it might have been maybe too many screens up at the same time, but I had rebooted my machine, so I'll see. I'm hoping that's not. So, unfortunately, Ray, I know there's New York Met blue and there's Dodger blue, and my team's in first and yours is not. So you get red this week.
Okay, no problem.
Ray's numbers are on the top. The big numbers are Ray's A picks. If you see smaller numbers underneath, those are his B picks. On the bottom is me, and I'm in bright Dodger blue, as you see there. And again, A picks are the big numbers, B picks underneath. And Joe, just so you know, I put you in the black type. Okay, you've been hot these last few weeks, so you get the black type.
Silver. You can put silver and black. That'll work for me too.
Silver and black.
Listen, when you're 80 and 30, you can have all the blue you want, man.
But just so you know, when I thought of you, I thought of the black type.
Yeah, Ray, I'm going to make a comment here, and I know Rich isn't going to like it. I know weren't the Mariners about 80 and 30 at 1.2 when they won 116 games?
Well, there can only be one. So, all right. So, we will
no guarantee of future performance.
Yeah, we will start with leg number 1. and I am gonna just make the assumption here that the 8 needs to go on the ticket. The Arrogate should be on there.
I guess so. Maybe.
If we don't, we can stop the show right now and
Would
just.
be nice. Okay. And next week we'll be at
Saratoga, by the way.
uh,
Yeah, the 8 will be on the ticket.
All right, so we'll put the 8 on the ticket. And for right now, do you want to just move on to the next leg and leave Arrogate as
Yeah,
our only play?
let's do that. Let's do
yeah,
that.
let's see. Because that all that's gonna do is double the ticket. So
Yeah, because we are down here in leg number 2, and me and Ray just created a mess. And Joe, you actually were still with the
Man.
16. So I see the 9 and the 10 kind of as a consensus, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So
use
I
the
see
TI calculator.
yeah, that's you know.
No, we all college
I
graduate.
see 10.
The 8 is 2 out
I
of 3.
see, you're right. I
With
see
the-
the 8.
with
You're right.
a-
I see the
also
8.
with a second place there. So
8, 9, 10. And
Yeah,
I think
remember we're doing only A's now, fellas.
all the A's, right?
okay, oh yeah, it's okay. So
At least at the beginning, we're doing only A's.
right, 8 and 10. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
All right. And on to this is the Oaks, right? This is the Del Mar Oaks.
Right.
And I see the 12 on all 3 of our tickets. there.
5.
Mhm.
Yeah, 12 and
12,
5.
5.
And 5 and 10 are on 2 lines.
12, 5. I see 10. Anybody else? Seemed like for some reason I thought that race was going to be.
No, that's just no. That, well, that's just everybody that's on
Yeah.
multiple lines.
A lines,
Mhm.
okay. All right. And
Well, you talked me on the 10, so I'm gonna put him on my ticket. Yeah,
we're not
personally.
done. No, you don't go anywhere. We're not done yet. And here I see, let's see.
Only 1 and 8.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Rich. Unfortunately, I don't know if the pictures on the bottom right hand corner cover up what's going on in there, so it's kind of tough to see. But
I'm sorry.
no, I mean, nothing you can do.
I kept expanding and expanding and.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
there we
1.
go.
There
we go.
Oh yeah.
There
There you go. Better.
So that's what it looks like
1, 8.
there. So right now, it would be Arrogant in the leadoff spot in the leg 1, just a single by himself. Second leg has got the 8, 9, 10, 12, 5, 10, and then 1, 8. So we've peeled off quite a few here. 9, 10. Let's see.
9, 10. Just looking.
So Ray's got the 3 in the second leg. Oh, actually, yeah, Ray's got. If we move along and leave Arrogant as the single there, and we've got Ray with the 3 in the first leg, in that first leg. And
Yes.
Ray's got the 3 and you got the 5.
Yeah. But the 3 is my 4th choice. I have them in order, so that's my order
Okay.
of preference. I don't know if you wanted to do that, but
Yeah, well, that's what I did as well.
yeah,
order of
That makes
preference.
sense.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the 3 is my 4th choice compared to your 5 first choice. So I would say the 5.
Well, no, hang
right?
on. No. Hang on. I have a feeling that I did not organize those the same way that you guys did. Let me get back to my.
Okay.
Let me pull my check mark off the page because
Oh, okay.
I'm actually, yeah, I'm actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's race number 9, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, 9.
Okay, I'm on the 11 as my top pick in that one. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You
BYU
wanted
Big
it.
League.
big league,
Right.
big league. It would look like that for me.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
to me, let's go. I mean, because so let's do this. If we put Rich's top pick in that spot, so make that 8, 9, 10, 11.
Right.
And then since the top picks in Rich, also put the 2 since
Next
collected.
leg.
Well,
10,
go back.
12.
I was going to say go back to the classic. Put the 2 in since he's your top choice,
Oh, right, yeah.
and then in the Del Mar Oaks, we have all 3 of our top choices: the 12, the 10, and the 5.
10 and 5, okay.
Is the 5 your top? No, Rich, the 10 was your top choice in the, but it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
you and I are both on the 10. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the only thing we don't have is one of my choices in the last leg, which would have been the 3. So if we went this way, so if we put in the 3 there, it's 2 by 4 by 3 by 3, which is a $36 ticket.
There we go. Nicely done.
Which, since most people don't know the inner workings of the show, we decided to change the way we did things a little bit, and we decided to start making tickets a little bit more, how could I say, robust, and be a little bit more aggressive, because we've figured out that we were trying to nickel and dime, and over the last 2 weeks, it's cost us about, I don't know, $3,600.
Yeah. So as long as we have our horses that we prefer, we're fine. It's good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way to go. So that's very good.
So,
we prefer these horses, and we're gonna play them.
And again, with you never know if there will be scratches that will necessitate changes on our behalf tomorrow. So
that looks good.
All right. So I got, let's see here. Opening leg, we got 8-2. In the second leg, we got 8, 9, 10, 11. And leg number 3, 10, 12, and the 5. And in the finale, we went 1, 3, 8.
That is correct.
Okay.
All right. And let me come on back to you guys here. Joe, have you got that down? Well, I don't even know if we're worried about you having that down. You've got me. We're together tomorrow. All right. For those of you, for those of you who are playing Del Mar tomorrow, just a special note: they do have their special win bet back promotion for second and third using your TVG app. You have to make sure you opt in to go ahead and get that credit for that promotion. They're doing that on all their races tomorrow. So, Joe, you're going to see me on my phone betting the whole day.
All the races at Del Mar, or every race at every track?
At Del Mar.
Okay.
Oh, Del Mar.
It's at Del Mar. It was all the races at Charlestown tonight, believe it or not. So I was actually able to make a little bit of money at Charlestown tonight.
And that's $10, right? $10 win?
$10.
Yeah, take. I'm sorry,
your first 10.
Your win bet back up to the first $10. Good catch, Ray.
Okay, so though you bet $10, you come and show, you get your money back, you can bet again. Yeah, roll over.
And if anybody is at Del Mar tomorrow, Mr. Sharp and I will be there on site. If you want to come up to us and say hello, we will be more than happy to chat horse racing with you. Hopefully we can pass on some information and maybe give you a winner or two, or keep you off a loser one way or the other.
I'll make a special note of it, trying to bring ourselves a little winning luck and like that. I did bring up this is my Belmont Stakes program from Saturday, June 6, 2015 with American Pharaoh on there. There's the uncashed ticket. That is courtesy of my good friend, Mr. Torado. Ray Torado sent that to me several years ago. And it sits up on that shelf with Mr. Baffert and Zenyatta. And there's going to be a new special edition that's going to come onto the show next week. So you guys got to see who's going to get out of the shelf next week. All right.
Is there any giveaways tomorrow? No.
Yes, beach towel.
Oh, really?
Ooh, beach towel.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome. Beach towel heading to you, Ray.
Well, make sure I'm bringing my Del Mar backpack so
Very
that
good.
So I can put my beach towel in my backpack, and I won't have to be carrying it around all day.
Oh, right. So you guys,
or God forbid, have to walk back to my car and see our lovely friends from the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, because I know, being that tomorrow is such a huge day, they will be out.
they'll be there.
They will be there tomorrow.
All right.
I'll tell you what, if they're not there, that'll be the biggest upset since Arrogate losing.
Just go in and out one more time and get extra beach time.
No, I'm gonna have to see if I can. Maybe what I can do to avoid those people is maybe I could skydive in or something like that. Anyway.
All right. For those for those of you watching, if you enjoyed the show, we will be back next week because that's what the three broke guys do.
Mhm.
We will get together to take a look at another exciting card. It's been 3 weeks since we were at Saratoga, so we're going back for the Travers.
Oh, it's gonna be packed.
Yeah.
The steak races. Ooh.
Ray and Ray saw my tweet about how many horses I think are going to be running in that race.
Mhm.
But anyway,
So I said, no gate, just let them go.
yield of 25.
That's it. Field 25.
That'll be half for night. It's always a pleasure to handicap with the two of you.
Yes, it
Always
is.
fun.
For Joe English and Ray Torado, I'm Rich Sharp. Thank you for watching Three Broke Guys Handicapping. Good luck and good night.
All right. Good luck tomorrow, guys. Have a good time. Enjoy your day.
We will. Thanks.